Good morning, everybody. Hey, happy Tuesday. I'm not normally live on Tuesday, but some of you know I was supposed to be on vacation. We were going to do like a week and a half, 2-week vacation to Michigan in our camper van. And so there's a lot that went on. There was a hurricane that came through. There was a drought that has happened. Some projects my farmer had to do. And so we are not vacationing at all, which meant I suddenly had this week of nothing on my books. So here I am hanging out with you guys. Let me get my comments up. So good morning. If I know I'm not normally live, but there's no stamping today. It's just going to be a chat today. So how are we, everyone? Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Joan. If you are catching the replay, hello to you. Just pop replay in the comments so that I know that I can come back and join you. But what I wanted to chat about today is something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is Sweet Grace Ministries. So many of you who have been following me for years, friends of mine, stamping friends, know that I am very active in Sweet Grace Ministries, but I wanted to share a little bit about it because there are some needs that are coming up and their big fundraiser is coming up. So if you're not familiar with Sweet Grace, it is a ministry in my hometown of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, but it supports families all over our country who are going through the terrible loss of a miscarriage or infant loss or a neonatal death. I have been part of the card making side of things with Sweet Grace. And last year, I was very blessed to have received the Heart of Stampin' Up! Award with Sweet Grace as the recipient. And so it has started to help bring some light to this amazing ministry. Because like I said, it's in my town, but it does support families all over our entire country. And it is a very big need. So I will talk a little bit about what Sweet Grace does. So in the event that a family has lost their child or has a miscarriage, you can contact Sweet Grace and they will start I don't even know what I want to say, outreach. They have baskets that go to families that are leaving a hospital without a baby in arms. There is a physical basket that is full of things that are needed that you might not know that you need, but are needed. And so I'm just going to read a little bit about it from the brochure so that I'm doing justice. So the baskets go to families who have endured stillbirth or neonatal deaths in the partnered hospitals. So Sweet Grace is actually kind of a different ministry because they actually are connected with the hospital. There is a liaison. So the hospital can contact the liaison and say, I have this family who is in need, and Sweet Grace can go from there, which is amazing, right? To partner actually with the hospital. I can't remember how many hospitals they're partnered with, but I feel like it's well into 25 or 30 different hospitals in our state of Pennsylvania. And some even, I think there's one in Alaska, and I feel like there's one in the Midwest, like maybe one of the Dakotas or something like that. So, and that's not because there's not a need, because there is, but Sweet Grace has to kind of figure out how that logistically works whenever they're moving this ministry into other states. So good morning, friends. Hey, Sharon, Robin, and Marcia. Thanks so much for joining me. So basically the baskets are going to include books, hand knitted or crocheted blankets, stuffed animal, candle, tea, a holding heart, baby book, and a lot more, just so that these families go home with something to start helping them prepare for dealing with their loss. Baskets are shipped all over the country. So you can imagine these baskets are big. Okay, they're big, they're stocked full of things that these families need, and then they're shipped. So there are big expenses when it comes to helping these families with these baskets. Then there are comfort bags, and the comfort bags go to ectopic pregnancy or miscarriages to all over families all through the United States. And they include, sometimes it's very hard to talk about, little teeny diapers, little teeny hats, little things that that baby can be buried in. just different things to help the family go through this loss and process. There are photographers that are volunteer only that will go into the hospital and be there to document the baby and the passing and the visit and that type of thing. They are on call all the time to go in, and sometimes it's quite a crisis. Some families know, and some families do not. There are infant loss support groups that are through Sweet Grace. Everything is done by volunteer. So if this is something that you would like to be a part of, you can contact sweetgraceministries.com and find out more. Then the card ministry is part of mine. And that is making sure that these families get cards every Mother's Day, every Father's Day, every month, the anniversary of the baby's passing, and Christmas cards. So what we have done for many, many years is the Thinking of You card, which is actually the card that is sent when the baby has passed, or on the anniversary or birthday of the baby's passing. So that's always kind of been what my group does. And I've always said Thinking of You cards, and Mother's Day. But one of their volunteers who did Christmas and Father's Day has passed away. And so Sweet Grace has asked if we can take that on. And I'm like, heck yes, we can take it on. Stampers love to stamp. And if we can have a reason to give back and make things better for these families, we totally will. It's a little bit of ink and a little bit of paper. Okay. So there is a need this year for Christmas. I'm asked all the time what the deadline is. Never a deadline. We just continually accept all the time because these cards are always going out. Every single card is handwritten. Every single card is something's different each time with whatever the message or scripture or whatever they choose to send. So cards should be, our standard size, half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 standard size cardstock. You want to have nothing on the inside. I know that's hard for us sometimes, right, friends? We want to make sure that we have something pretty on the inside for these families, but that's where everything is written. So please don't put anything on the inside. Simple is fine. I know that's another thing sometimes we have a hard time with. We want to just go big and gorgeous and make these amazing works of art, and that's great. But simple is okay because the magnitude of cards that are sent is huge. Thousands. I know Christmas, they're planning on 1,200 cards for Christmas. Mother's Day is well over 1,000. Father's Day is a couple hundred, 400 or 500 maybe. And then continuously the birth date cards go out constantly all year. So there is always a need. It's never a cutoff. It's never too late. But they do like to work ahead because everyone needs to handwrite, and there's just volunteers that are doing that. So the volunteers will come in and take packages of cards and go home and they do a lot of writing in cursive, so that is kind of a dying art, right? People who know how to write cursive. And so the volunteers do that. So it is nice to have a stockpile constantly that they can pull from and send out. So Christmas, they really have the push for that this year. As I said, 1,200 cards they're planning on sending. So if you're interested in donating cards, please do so. You can send them to me or you can send them right to the ministry. You can include stamps if you choose, but there is funds for that, but you are welcome to do donation of stamps. Same with donation of envelopes. You are welcome to donate envelopes, but you necessarily don't have to. It can just be the cards. And thinking of you at Christmas is the ideal sentiment, but I know that not all of us have that. Not all of us have that available. So Merry Christmas is fine, or something that is Christmas sentiment. Okay. We want to definitely make sure that they are very Christmas centered. If you have Thinking of You, that's fine. You can even print them up and print it out and die cut or punch. That's fine as well. Just make sure that nothing is really thick. That would cause extra postage. So that's why we say simple is better. Sometimes if we get too much ribbon or too many pop dots or too much thick bling, that can cause a little bit more of more postage. So we don't want to do that. So if you have any questions about Christmas cards, let me know. That is the need right now. They have a couple hundred that are coming, and they're going to start farming them out, but we need to get some more Christmas cards. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. The Thinking of You is the anniversary of the baby's passing, or the birth month of the baby's passing. So we do not want those cards to be baby oriented at all. So we try to avoid really lots of pinks or lots of blues, but very subtle colors. We don't need them to be bright and loud. Just, I'm asked all the time, what should I make? Just really run it through your filter, the reason why this card is going out. Okay, that's what brings me to like, okay, this can be very simple. It can be very subdued. Butterflies are very big. Floral is fine. But we just don't want it to be like happy birthday, because that's not what it's about. It is going to a family who is very raw in dealing with the loss of their baby. So thinking of you, praying for you, sending hugs, thoughts are with you, that type of thing. Nothing birthday related, but just because that'll be on the sentiment inside, but just, something to let them know that, yes, we are thinking about you, we are remembering with you, and we're here for you. So that is the constant. Those are all year. Then our Mother's Day and Father's Day, kind of very similar. We can do very, very simple. We just need to run that filter to remember that it is going to a family that has had a traumatic loss. So we don't really want it to be bright and festive and fun. But we do want it to very specifically be Mother's Day and Father's Day. So I know that thinking of you on Mother's Day or Father's Day is not a set that many of us have. But so if you have Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day, it's okay. We can use that because we just need to make sure that it is honoring them as a mother and a father, even if their baby is not here. Now, on my Facebook group, which let me see if I have it. Do I have it linked here? Yes. Okay, so this is my Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, you can ask to join. My friend and team member, Jen Alonzo, created printables with alternate sayings. She was a blessing. And so you can go into my Facebook group, go under featured, and you will scroll across and you will see that they are pinned and held there. So you can print them off and then you can punch them, cut them, die cut them, whatever works. But we do have alternate Mother's Day, Father's Day, and she also has the thinking of you, praying for you, that kind of thing. So that's available to you if you're interested in doing those type of cards as well. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about the card ministry, please let me know. Another thing that Sweet Grace does is accepts gowns. And so I am on the fence with this one right now because my personal bridal gown is upstairs in my room. It has been in my box for 20 some years, and I'm not sure that my daughter really wants it. And so they will accept gowns that are then taken apart and sewn into burial gowns and burial outfits, burial wraps for the babies. So I know that sometimes can be very hard for us to part with something like that. I'm kind of thinking it too, like, what if my daughter wanted my wedding dress? I don't think she will. But Sweet Grace is very good at helping you release your gown. So knowing what it is going to be used for, but sometimes you can just keep part. So maybe you have a pretty brooch or some, a belt or something that's on your dress that is very important. They will actually take that off and save that for you, or you can take it off yourself. So the one thing that when I told them about my gown, that I do want my daughter to be able to look at it and make that decision. But they said so many times they will take a piece of the fabric of the gown, like my gown, and have it sewn into the daughter's gown so that it is there for the day. It's part of it, but not necessarily wearing, the full gown, because times change and things change, and that might not be, what they want, but still to have that little piece and part there. So it's all possible. If you're not quite ready to donate your gown, that's okay. You have to do something like that in your own time. But I just want to let you know that that is something that is very important as well, that these amazing seamstresses can create these little tiny burial outfits, burial gowns, and that type of thing for the babies. So now I wanted to talk a little bit also about the big fundraiser that is coming, and that's kind of my push for this as well. And some of you were a part of it last year, and I would love to have you join us again this year. So Sweet Grace is solely run on donations, and it takes approximately $100,000 a year to be able to support these families. So every year they have a big Sweet Walk to Remember. It is held in my town of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, at one of the local parks, and it will be on October 12th. 5:30 to 7:30 is the walk. It is a sunset candlelit vigil. It's a beautiful thing. And so they will also do a virtual walk. So I know many of you are not local, and that's okay. You can walk in honor of somebody or a baby. That's fine. You can simply donate, or you can join my walk team to be part of Stampin' Up! Difference Makers. So that's something that's happening soon. I will have the link in the description of this video. It's also being posted on my social media channels. And so last year, I think my goal might have been $500, and we surpassed it like triple. And so my goal, I raised it. It is $1,500 is my goal to raise. So if you are willing to donate, I would be ever so grateful, and so would Sweet Grace. My group of Moveless Stampers, my team, will be hosting a card making station at the event as well. So you can go online to sweetgraceministries.com. You can find all of that information. You can do a search for Sweet Grace on Facebook and find out lots of details. And if you or someone you know is dealing with infant loss, it's yourself. Maybe you have years ago. I'm finding so many of my customers will say many years ago, my child would be your age. He would be in his 50s. And so they are still supporting and there for those families as well, because it's with you forever. It's not something that you ever forget. If you need those support, or somebody that needs that support, please reach out to Sweet Grace. They know what to do. Even if they are not in this town, right? Even if they are somewhere, across the country, it's okay. Sweet Grace knows what to do. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that you will come alongside me and help Stampers Making a Difference with our card ministry, also with our walk donation. So any questions you should have, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, I am coming back here tomorrow live, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We will be working with the changing leaves. And then I'm also going to be live again Thursday morning at 10 a.m. because I don't have anything else to do, you guys. I have all this free time. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, everyone. It was so good to see so many of you on with me, and I will see you tomorrow.